Hey Pat, here's your video from the greenhouse. This is the east wing. We got million bell baskets, 3 rows in a month. They'll be blooming like nuts. These already are.
These are blue.
This is Nancy and Linda. I get stuck working with them all the time.
Yeah, you love it.
They're spacing petunias in 4-inch pots.
Can you go grab another cart? Oh, okay.
A little round 4-inch pot. Once they get big and blooming, they need space. They got space all of them halfway down. These are all million bells in 4-inch pots all the way down. Oh goodness. There's Michelle and Nancy grabbing some more. You know, get some blooms.
Are you? No,
These are the purple ones.
You know what this one is, Michelle, or was it another? That was the blue one, blueberry. It is? Okay, yeah.
Alright, well this is the east wing, one tiny section. We'll go over to the west wing. West wing's where they have all the 3-packs of flowers and tomatoes and veggies and peppers and all that they just planted. It's about 150 feet long. All these benches are full of 3-packs. All those tags sticking up. These all the way down are begonias. Tequila, vodka, whiskey, gin, they're all different. And all these I hung the other day are all petunia and million bell baskets. When I take another video in a month, you'd be shocked at the color that is in here. So, east wing, west wing. Retail has 4 big roofs. It's probably 80 feet wide. They're getting it all cleaned up for classes this weekend. Here's where you find all your Florida stuff and hibiscus and all that, and perennials. Let's see here. Got 1 gallon perennials. Heliopsis. It's in a gallon pot. Big ferns. Here's your begonias. All the baskets up above we hung. These are lantana trees. And dwarf repens, the little blue and white flowers. And more trees. All these are trees we got on the truck from Florida. Elephant ear ferns. Look at that. It's called hibiscus, Pat. Yeah. There's some hibiscus trees. Remember those? Hibiscus trees. Many ferns, hibiscus trees. I don't remember them red ones. Those are kind of interesting. Let's see. More hibiscuses. She's got colored benches in here. Got some chrysanthemums, some begonias, some pentas. These red spiky things are colocasia. These are kind of cool. Look at that. Fancy leaf hydrangeas, tulips. More hibiscus. These are little hibiscuses. These are all hydrangeas. And here's a little counter where they do the checkout. She's got all her hard goods and odds and ends. Lots of color, lots of pottery. This is fairy garden stuff. You'd enjoy that. Got whole shelves of little fairy garden things, Pat. You can buy little animals and dogs and fish and mushrooms and gnomes. Little tiny chairs and benches. Pots. These are women's shoes that they planted with succulents. So you can buy a woman's shoe made of moss, put a little dirt in it, and put some succulents in there. Isn't that pretty? It's ridiculous. Birdies. Here's a fairy garden. And we'll go next door a moment. Next greenhouse, we just opened up half of it last week. It's already full. These are 14-inch hanging baskets. They'll be blooming. Coleus, million bells, pansies, dracaena, sweet potato vine. These are our 4-inch geraniums. They just spaced them all out. They pick all the big leaves off and the blooms, and in 2-3 weeks they're gonna look awesome. Obviously lots of things on carts because we're out of room. Alyssums, Gerber daisies. You can probably remember what they look like. Okay. These benches have hoses on them that wet this felt so you don't have to water anything. You just let these hoses run for about 10 minutes and it sucks the moisture up from the bottom through the holes. And that's only on 4 benches. But it's an improvement. There's not so many dead leaves and dead blooms when you water by hand. There's no blooms because we just cleaned them all, so in a couple weeks they'll be blooming like mad. These are our 12-inch hanging baskets. They all have 3 different plants in them: million bells, petunias, lobelia. I think we did 600 of those. There's some more down there. You can see blooming, the yellow and the red. There you go. New Guinea impatiens. We got another couple weeks to go. It's our little dirt machine. We run all these flats through, fill carts up. I don't know what we'd do without it. Lobelia, Boston ivy, argyranthemums, dahlias, fuchsias, osteospermum, Gerber daisies, ibosa, verbena. Yeah, more alyssum, candy corn plant, more alyssum. You can just look at all the baskets in here. Most of them are on automatic water lines where you just turn a valve. You just turn this little valve up here and it waters them. One more little thing. These are plug trays. This is where most of our plants come in. These are wave petunias. Easy Wave Red Spreading Petunia. There's probably 200 to 300 plants in there, each one of them little holes. See? Filled with roots. They'll get planted the next week or two. But these 2 whole benches were covered in plug trays and the women have gone nuts, which is good. These are all vinca. There's 100 different colors of vinca. Cora lavender. Well, there you go. The barn's next door. There's 3 Quonsets behind it. We'll fill up and we'll be in business. The next 2 weeks, a lot's going to get moved. You can see the insane amount of baskets in here. We have rows that are on automatic lines, and there's rows like this that have no water leads. These are water leads where the water just drips out of there into the basket. So we got to water all these by hand. Hopefully a better day today than yesterday. It's supposed to be 50, and we'll get going. I'll go help the women for a little while till I find a crummy job. Hope you enjoy the video when you finally see it in a month. These are all coleuses. Red coleus, orange. There's different names for them all. Green. They're all different. People love them for planters. They don't bloom, they just have neat color. This is limelight. This is red velvet. There you go.